Well, the situation with the Northern Ireland Protocol, of course, has been one of the areas that the government have faced huge criticism from Brexiteers. Quite unbelievable to think that you've gone from Lord Frost as Brexit Minister, then of course you had Liz Truss as Foreign Secretary, right through now to Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister, and negotiations with the EU continue. It seems like endless negotiations with very little happening, and of course many for a long time have been calling for Article 16 to be triggered. It was being, as I said, reported a long time ago now, relatively anyway, that ministers were urging Boris Johnson, for instance, to trigger Article 16. The government didn't do that, and instead it looks like we could be heading towards an election in Northern Ireland. Interesting to see today, though, that the UUP, the Ulster Unionists leader, Doug Beattie, now coming out and saying this, that we're at a pivotal period, that there is an opportunity to finally deal with the problems caused by the Northern Ireland Protocol. And he's saying that something needs to change, that the opportunity exists to pause the calling of an election, but that it is the right time for the UK to trigger Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol. And as he points out, Article 16 states that either party in the negotiations may act unilaterally if the application of this protocol leads to serious economic, societal or environmental difficulties that are liable to persist. And he thinks it is unquestionable that we're experiencing societal difficulties that are liable to persist. So, this has gone on for way too long now. Article 16 should have been triggered a long time back. But this is what the Ulster Unionist leader, Doug Beattie, is saying today. Watch this and let me know if you agree with what he has to say here.
It is quite clear that there is no plan to get the Northern Ireland executive up and running again to provide for the people of Northern Ireland. There's a dearth of thinking, a lack of experience and understanding of the problems we face and how division can come about through people taking the wrong actions. We all know what the problem is. The problem is, of course, the Northern Ireland Protocol, but that will be resolved through negotiations between the European Union and the United Kingdom. And right now, we have no idea how close or how far away they are from a deal. And we could be thrust into an assembly election, which is going to solve absolutely nothing. So maybe now really is the time to start looking at triggering Article 16. Not to poke the EU in the eye, but work collaboratively with the EU to explain to them that we are suffering societal, economic and environmental harm, and it is likely to be sustained. That's the whole point of Article 16. It's an article of the protocol. And working together, the EU and the UK can trigger this, and we can then focus on coming up with solutions so that we're not thrust into an election, that we can get the executive up and running again, because that's what we need, because we need to provide for the people of Northern Ireland. There is a lack of thinking at this moment in time. We need ideas, we need people to come forward and make difficult decisions. We need to do it now as we continue to deal with this cost of living crisis.